Wonderful. So,
Yeah.
hello everyone to the Sacred Expression Show with me, Meilin, the host, and the Shaman Radavie Riom. Today is more the interactive, live, open for questions, healing, wisdom, transformation session. And Radavie just mentioned she would like to express a little bit more what is she about and what her vision in her work and in her life is, so you can get a better understanding for it. So please, Radavie, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning. And over the years, 30 years of serving my clients in this way, I have really come to a broader understanding of how people really want to know what it is I do. But it's not about what I do. I want to share with you about what happens in the human condition, because I have always had this passion. How do I break into the human condition? So what is the human condition? The human condition is something that we have all experienced, no one exception, when we come into this physical body and into this third dimensional realm. And we were really in a place of innocence. What does that mean? Innocence means we don't have an understanding of what the things we see means. We don't know that a tree is a tree. We don't know that a mother is our mother, our mother. We see a person. And so we began to learn the language, and we began to be conditioned, not only from learning and being educated into what things mean, but we also began to experience life through the conditioning. The conditioning is we're experiencing how we are treated. We're experiencing how each adult treat each other. We're experiencing through religion and going to church and going to school. The words are very wounding. And some of the things that we have not remembered is that something as simple as saying, you need to get the best marks in school so you can get a lot of money when you grow up and get a high education. And so when you come home with a little, your report card may have a C or a D in one area that you're not interested in. The conditioning can commonly begin. You were not good enough in this. You have to study harder, because remember, you have to get good grades so you can make a lot of money in the world. You can be educated. These things are very laboring and very disturbing to us as children, because children are innocent. We are learning the good and the bad. And what we are doing right now is learning from the adults that if you don't get good grades, you're not going to be educated and you're not going to make a lot of money, because the world is about how much you can have in the physical world. That can commonly leave us as children in a place of fear or doubt, or we start to judge ourselves that we didn't get an A, so I'm not really good enough. I'm not perfect because my parents were expecting me to get all A's. So, things like this, for instance, leaves imprints in our mind body, and it becomes a wound. It can become a really wound, especially if the parents continue to use this as a tool for saying, you need to get good grades, you need to get better grades, or the way in which they say it and the way in which we take it, we start to feel less than, and it develops fears. So we can look in our lives and see, how has this affected me? Because that wound never heals until we get to the root and address it. So these are things, the words and the behaviors of how we're treated growing up has a really, really strong mark in our personalities, our identification, and how we view the world. Because the world is viewed not because it is correctly viewed. We have 7 million people. I can guarantee you we have 7 million worlds. What do I mean by that? Each individual see the world based on our beliefs. So the thing that I invite people to know, it doesn't matter how silly, there's nothing silly, doesn't matter how minute it seems. But if it's lingering and you wonder about something, or you say, I'm always, I never can be better. I never can be better. You may go to work and you are not the best top person in the group, and you start to unconsciously remember, I didn't get A's in all of my classes. I'm not good enough. And whatever we feel is what we attract outside. So these are just a minute, basic thing that I want to share about the inner child and about how we conduct our life and create our lives out in the world as we continue to grow up. I never
Wonderful.
thought,
Can I?
yeah,
There is, and Nandura joined us, and I would like to ask her if she would love to take a seat with us. I saw that she joined. It would be fun. And she's also about a lot of bringing out what is within us. So let's see if she's gonna take the seat. I hope.
what is her name?
Yes, there she is. Anuradha.
Anuradha. Sounds similar to
If
Radavie.
you look to the right on the bottom, Radavie, you will see it. She said
Oh,
hi.
yes. Yeah.
And you can
Hi.
also
Yeah.
send a message. So I will say hello.
That's exactly.
And invite you to take a seat. There you.
Mm-hmm.
She will just listen for now.
Okay. So you had anything to add to that, Meilin? What I just said?
Yes, I think so. You're so welcome. It is really, we come in as in our natural state when we're born, right? And we also live it and see energy fields differently. And later in life, many of us change or adapt or try to live up to approval. Or mostly, I think it is because of love. We really take serious what adults around us tell us, or take it within us. Maybe they mean it different, but how we hear it in the moment, or how we compare, a child compares itself, right, to another child,
Yes.
to get approval in siblings. And then we readjust our life. And until we now, and maybe in adulthood, if maybe earlier, if you're lucky, we remember more of what we are and of our natural state, and connect to it.
You know, as you were saying that, I want to bring something that comes to mind from my childhood. And I was a year and 9 months older than my sister, so I was considered the older one of the two. You know, we grew up in clusters because it was a big family. So my sister and I were closer in age. And the basic beginning of that, which, you know, maybe at another time I'll talk about my initial relationship with my mother. But here it is. I am the older one, and I'm constantly blamed for what we do because you should know better because you're older. Okay,
Yeah.
that's one thing. The second thing, and I know how it affected me deeply, my mother and my sister was born the same month. They were Taurus, so we're born in May. And I am a Leo, I was born in August. My mother would always talk about how wonderfully Taurus people are, people born in May. And then she'll say negative things about people born in August. Well, I can tell you that even when I got married in my early 20s and maybe early 30s, I was very hesitant in talking about what month I was born. Because
Wow.
there was a strong belief that people who are born in August are terrible. And you don't want people to hear that you feel that you're terrible, that you think you're terrible. Because if you think you're terrible, people are going to definitely respond to you. You're going to see through those eyes. And so blame was a very, very strong thing for me, because blame equal I wasn't good enough. And if I'm not good enough, the root cause to me of every humankind is that they are not loved, or they are not good enough to be loved. So whichever way the psychology of that affects us, it's bringing in an imprint somewhere in the unconscious, and we create things that mirrors those feelings that we have long forgotten that we had programmed in ourselves. So
Yeah, yeah. And I have just got an idea. So thank you for the tip. So Anuradha is just listening, but we're both intuitive, and so there's coming something about siblings and mother relationship. And I would love to take this a little further now. What, Radavie, do you sense in the moment is a quick healing or transformational something we can do for this topic, how to show, the relationship to our mother or as a sibling, or not being seen, or that we think we're not worth a lot at the moment?
okay.
Because I thought that would be fun.
Right.
I know I always have songs, but you're invited, so go ahead.
There are only two places we human beings come from. We have a mind, an intellect, a memory, we have an ego base, but also the primary place that we really, really relate to and resonate with is our spirit. And I call that Holy Spirit. And in our Holy Spirit, there's nothing but love and compassion, kindness, tenderness. We commonly stay in the mind because the imprints that we've created about not being good enough, or doubts, or lack, or fear, are programs that are always playing itself out. So the first step I would say to anyone is to just turn the light off from the mind and the thinking. Just turn it off. Because when you do that, there's only other one place you're going to be, and it's somewhere in your heart, and that place of spirit. That place has no judgment. It has no opinion. But it may have a really compassion for us to reach out, if we can remember what age did that feeling, whatever the feeling we have towards our mother or towards someone that we're still carrying that really hurts us, we sit quietly in our heart space and allow the flow of memories to take us to where we first remember this discomfort or this emotion that made us feel locked out, left out, fearful, not good enough, separation, whatever word it was. And if we want, we can sit there in our heart and allow that memory to bring up. We may want to ask what age. We may remember exactly what happened, the first memory we had. We may remember I was 6 years old, and I remember I may have spilled something because, I couldn't, I'm just 6 years old. And the way in which I was treated or yelled at because something happened that I was so innocent about. And what happened is I internalized it as shame, not good enough. We go to that age or to the memory and allow that Holy Spirit within us to embrace it and bring it closer and closer and closer to the heart space. And in that heart space, we become the mother for that discomfort, wound, hurt, and we nurture it. And we just breathe. As we are doing all of this, we breathe deeply, deeply in our bodies, and just be there with this feeling until something else happens. So I was only speaking, I wasn't really taking us into that place. But I can slow down and allow you to do that. Feel something that is uncomfortable or always running through the thoughts, the mind. And we close our eyes and we breathe gently. And know that we're at peace. Right in our heart, there's peace. Or there's more truth in our heart. Right now we have the option of feeling the discomfort, but also feeling from a heart space that has a softness to it. It's no longer being blamed. It's no longer what someone did to us. It's the residue of the imprint of the mind-body now in here that is feeling the hurt and the woundedness and how it really affected us. So continue to hold that space and breathe. And just breathe and feel it coming closer and closer and closer. Until it gets to a place of really a connection. And what does it feel like at this point when we become united with this? What's happening now? And there's also a love that abides in that sense of spirit in the heart. There's always this love. Open that beautiful golden light to it, to this feeling that is now united here. Bring us back into that innocence, softness. So that's one of the things that I would suggest. You know, the word that came to me was, we can call that the soft heart. Take it from the pain into the soft heart.
That's how I feel very soft around my heart. That word, the softness, came before you mentioned it.
Yeah, soft heart. Yeah.
Very beautiful.
And it's such a place that we commonly forget to reside, because the mind is a program. There's always running and running and running. It has become so much a part of us, when it's another story about the mind doesn't really, who is there in the mind? What is a mind? What is a thought? What are the thoughts? Can't find it. It's a program, like a computer.
Yeah, the mind is really there, right, for our survival, for instincts, really quick reactions. And as the more fine-tuned we get to ourselves and remember what we are, I believe then we know what is our thoughts that comes from our body, from our heart, from our creation or our source, or which thoughts did we create to manifest and materialize in this world, and what is the mind chatter. And I think with time, the more we go into the beautiful soft heart, and you just prepare this, then now I invite everyone, every time you notice there's too much mind, you go in, or you feel something triggers something when you were a child and something is triggered, feel that soft heart you just experienced, that Radavie brought you into, because this memory is in your cells now. So just go back to it whenever you feel like it, and breathe it in, soak it in, and you'll be brought right. And for many of you, you probably will keep this now for a while.
The most powerful, or the most, I would say, important thing that we human beings can do for ourselves is self-compassion. That is the kindest thing I'm hearing. It wards off the evil spirits of the belief and the unpleasant thoughts, and the unpleasant thinking. Self-compassion.
Yeah.
Mm.
There was while you were speaking, taking us into the memories of how we reacted, and that we were the mother of our inner child for a moment. What came to me, and Radha is a beautiful mother, I know that, and many others, and we're very aware of how we want or desire or create a different experience for our children, and observe ourselves, how we react to anything, even as you just mentioned, the spilling of water, that we say it's okay, it happens, and we share ways how, I don't know, to clean it up or to let it flow, and maybe observe how it flows, or how there are many different ways. So what was coming, the idea is to have to sing a song that is supportive in mothers, of us mothers, bringing more awareness to ourselves and letting go of our experience, and creating really the experience we desire for ourselves in relation to our children. And I would like to sing that now. Nia 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 nia
Thank you so much. Beautiful.
It was amazing, the vibration of the, I have to stand up. It's always, our, it's right in our stomachs, right here, the vibration of our life force, of motherhood, even, where we've kept our children for a while, where we've given birth. But it's also the same area, the same spot. We are the mothers to ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And I to me, that second chakra is what Spirit told me many years ago, holds what are called hidden secrets from us. And hidden secrets is a lot of different things, a lot of not just bad, good, bad, things that maybe take a while for us to understand and to come into light with. So it's a very impactful energy, that second chakra, the belly area.
yeah. It is also like, I often see this is the spirals, it's where we breathe in and breathe out, and it's what we bring, it's really from what we move forward. That's the place where we get moved forward in life, or backwards, whatever, how we move. But this is what moves us on this plane. We have the energies from the earth, we have the energies of above, and they come together within us so we can stand upright. Yeah, so we would be flat like a pancake.
That's right.
But it is us, it's me, it's you, and we move ourselves. And the more we sense connect the heart with
the belly,
our own cradling, in a way. That's where, even if we hold the posture of cradling, right? To get up like this, it's again right here. It's again right here. And I know how often do we hold our own heart form, or we place our hands? So we send their love, where we become also soft there. In the same experience you brought to our heart. In a way, if we broaden that experience right now, I invite everyone, this beautiful soft heart that you still have from Radavie's beautiful sacred meditation to your heart, bring that softness now. Let it expand, and let it move also into this area it's shown you, and beyond. And you'll become soft all over, and you'll notice also how you move different now.
And and another layer to that is that the second chakra is about community, how we relate to community, meaning the outer world, how we stand and connect with people. So what you were just saying has a lot to do with still the unconscious, the beliefs, the ancient beliefs, and how we felt nurtured, or how we nurture others through our heart feelings. It doesn't mean we go around and rocking everybody, but the softness of our heart, how we look at each other, and just, feel a similarity instead of a difference. Because it's there. It's always there. But we tend to judge. We tend to judge very quickly.
I love
Something that doesn't look the
same. Let me give you hands just for that after practice. Giving you a lot of hands, because it's seeing our similarity and seeing each other's softness.
Yes.
Yeah. When we see each other's softness, each other's love, we soften. even the other person, right then and there. No
Absolutely.
words have to be said, no big meditation or healing. It is just the recognizing. Again, it's a relating through recognition that
Which comes
we're
from,
one.
again, the spirit, the heart, not the thinking. The thinking will look at the separation. Oh my God, what kind of dress she's wearing? Look at her hair, blah, blah, blah. And it's about, who is this person? Who is this? And, that's part of me. That's part of humanity that is standing in front of me here. There's always something to learn from each other and to share ourselves with each other. If we come from our heart, we will always be sharing and offering, and we'll also be hearing what is being offered to us. Constant classroom here.
And it's more fun and more enjoyable. That's
Yeah,
what
of
I believe.
course,
That's what
it
I've
brings out
learned.
it brings out the innocence in us, the
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Love it.
The innocence of a child. What is the innocence? That's Radavie. What something I've been thinking to, people, the inner child, and some look at the inner child. For me, is really living our natural state, our natural beingness. Um,
And what is that to you? The
for me,
natural.
it's living our joy fully, expressing ourselves. Like what the inner child, when you want to go back to, it is really a part of us, and it's not. We can have this innocence, as you call it, as an adult too. And it's not we have to go back and live like a child. I think sometimes people think they have to go back and live like a child. It is not living like a child again, because I'm now almost 50. But I'm going to pick up the things I love, or I observe by children, or what I loved to do when I reconnect to those things that I lived so freely, connecting to trees, speaking to trees, and jumping around, dancing whenever I want to, so that we take away the restrictions we have put on ourselves and live this inner light. Yeah, this inner light whenever we desire to, not defined by the time of the day or actions of others. So that is.
Yeah, and add a little to that too. That to me, in a sense, is taking off the cloaks of the conditioning. And that is sometimes a process that we go through, releasing the wounds, releasing the inner child from the entrapment of hiding away who they really are and coming out. And so, in a sense, to me, it's before the conditioning. It's when we saw the world without opinions, without judgment, without right and wrong, without separation. And you look at a child who is innocent, and all they see is just the energy of our soul, our spirit. And that is about how do we as adults now clear away all those emotional imprints and go back to that place where we can see each other as same instead of the difference. And that's it. To me, that's just wonder, not wandering, what wander through life. Just viewing things without having an opinion.
Yeah, and just
That
soaking
to
in the
me,
beauty. Yeah,
that that to me too is freedom.
yeah,
Or in a sense is freedom. And that takes us, once we unlock that, it takes us into the freedom and the choice to become spiritually awakened. But we must let go of the beliefs that hunker us down into separation. And when we do that, the stages are we're going back to innocence, we're going back to detachment, we're going back to freedom, because we're now no longer attached to politics, right and wrong. It just is. It just is. Or what they did to me or what they did to somebody else or the horrors of the war. Our disturbance about those things really can't change it. But our love and gratitude to be able to detach and to see it from a place of spirit assist, because we're sending another energy there that can, of a lighter frequency, that can definitely do more good than harm. Yeah, so to me, it's about how we serve the world. Well, first we serve the spirit here. It has to come from here, and we change the view of the world. So that for me too is also expressing our innocence. We don't have an opinion. We don't have an ego about anything. We just is. Yeah.
Yes. And
Mm.
nothing to add. Simple as
Yes.
simple beauty.
It's simple.
Simple expression, expressing what we are. Yeah, it is expressing what we are. That is it. So I think that is a beautiful place to thank the listeners and to thank you, Radavie. And before we go, I want to invite, because we're going to come together again, Radavie. This is always so beautiful to speak with you. For the listeners to subscribe to this Blab account so you know when the next show is hosted. And also there's a Facebook group. It's called Sacred Expression Show. You'll find it. And then Radavie Riom, she has a lot of beautiful tips on her website. So connect to us and come to the next show that is added here on Blab. And also, in the meantime, on my website, meilinelke.com, I have the Sacred Expression shows listed, and there you can see the videos we've taken before, conversations that you can listen to, old and the new ones that are coming up. And Radavie has one, and there will be many, many more beautiful moments. And Anuradha, thank you for also joining and bringing the input of the motherhood ness, right? And our relation to our mothers, the relation to ourselves, and then the relation to others, and especially, I think, which is dear, very dear to all three of us, and many of you, is the relation to our children. And to live ourselves, and I think it's a desire of many of us, to live our truth even more, even more, even more, and even more free, or with less judgment, as Radavie said, for our children. So we can give them the space, the sacred space, so they can express themselves as they are, right? Without restrictions of anything around them. And if they hear it, that they're not fathomed by it, that they take it in and say so beautifully how you said, Radavie, it is, but they keep on going as they are, right?
That's correct, exactly. When we free ourselves, we really are going to be freeing our children, and we are going to be freeing those we relate to or relate with, because we're coming from a whole different frequency, and we're putting out a vibration there that is planting new seeds. You know, we've planted seeds of despair and doubt and all of that. Now, it's about planting new seeds so the world can grow into a much more sparkling, enlightened way. And that is, we serve each other. We serve the planet. We serve Mother Earth. We serve each other. We serve ourselves. Because when we serve each other, what we're really doing is serving the Holy Spirit that resides in all of us. It's the same Holy Spirit, the same consciousness, expressing itself differently.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
the sacred, the sacred sounds is the one sound, the one mind, and so much.
Yeah.
We're all one, and we're reflection of each other. And the more we relate and bring each other closer, the more we understand, and
Yes.
healing goes to everything.
As you were saying that, what was being shown to me is like a field of wildflowers.
Mm.
There's so many different colors and so many different kinds, but they all come from the same place of the mystery of spirit. Now, it's the same thing like people. We look different, we act differently, but we all came from the same field of wildflowers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So true, so true. Oh, Radavie, every time I come to you, it's always this, and I think I wrote it in every text. It's this cradling, this
Mm,
energy,
mm.
of the mother energy that you express, emanate to all of us. And for that, I thank you so much in living yourself, in expressing yourself, and keep on going, that you do that and keep on going, and through that inspire all of us to keep on going and to
Thank you
live
so
our.
much. And it wasn't always this way. I was definitely the withdrawn, wounded child who didn't think I belonged. But I belonged somewhere. I thought I was different. Probably I am, but I was a wounded, withdrawn child. And when I worked through my childhood stuff and moved out to that, the other side of the coin is nurturing those, or even nurturing from the spirit, that which I always wanted, the nurturing.
Mhm.
And so spirit refers to me through my inner child work as mother of the wounded children. So we're talking about mother, and that's really, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned that to you, because you see the nurturing in me, and it's because the children, too, the inner children, refer to me as, they know that I'm the mother of the wounded children, because again, I meet them through innocence, through spirit. There's no, you are terrible. Oh my God, how did that happen to you? It's all about holding that space of nurturing and acknowledgement for those wounded inner children. I have a very deep connection with them.
We're happy
Mm.
to have you. I think that's,
Uh,
our generation, my generation for sure. I see it less and less in the young, and really seldom in with my son's generation. They're now maybe 10 or younger. They come with a whole different vibration.
oh, absolutely.
We still are the in between. So my generation, I think, um, where we are happy for everyone who came into our life and that inspired us to show us that we're not broken or wounded, and that it's okay to be different. And then I think that's also much of my work. I'm like a stand-up doll. You can push me 1,000 times over, and whoops, up I am. And that's why we here. And so let's see what the younger ones are bringing us.
It's interesting, but I see the generational differences. I see, like, let's say, your parents or grandparents. They didn't know anything about changing. It's like they would say, this is my lot in life. This is what I live with it. I do the best I can. In the next generation, we're open to changing. We're open to seeing the differences. We're open to looking at our wounds. Plus, media has really, really brought the skeleton out the closet a lot. And so the shame that we have held inside, we say, okay, now, I'm not the only one. I see there are other people I can now open to wanting to change that. And then the other children come in, they have parents who are much more flexible, and they have no, there's a energy and a message that they're getting in from the behaviors of these parents who are flexible. It's really beautiful to see how it eliminates itself. The fears, doubts, and the difficulties start to eliminate itself if people really are open
Yeah.
to saying, this is not me, I'm feeling this stuff, and I need to look at it. I want to take care of it. Yeah.
Beautiful times are coming. That's what I sense.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah,
there's
lovely times.
whatever is going on, but if we look at the big shift, the big, well, not shift, but expansion is just beauty is coming our way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's more light, there's more support from the unseen world. There's a lot of changes, and there's a lot that is moving out of the inner earth, because she is expanding and transforming. And so as she does that, the darkness, just like us, when we go to release the wounds, there is disturbing energies coming out of us. So it's coming out of the earth and it's hitting ours, and it's a beautiful um, uh, movement and dancing of how all of this darkness is coming to light. It's really, really a special time in our existence. I really do believe that.
Exciting. So
Mm.
that is what I'm so like. I love doing what I'm doing to see what others, why they're here on Earth, what they're living, and that's what really Radavie, this sacred expression show is about. What are they bringing, and how they're bringing it more and more to the world, as you do,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
do, and Radha with her beautiful work, and many others.
yeah. And like you too, Meilin, your soul has this blueprint of what it's come to do. You may not know it when you're born. A few people are very, very lucky to know, but you come to grow, evolve, move through the conditioning, get back the pieces of your soul, put it together, and then you start to feel this resonance of your voice. Now, someone else who doesn't have that soul's calling may want to try to do what you're doing. There's a frequency that's different. And when each person sit and express from their soul's free blueprint, the vibration is original. There's something that people hear in that vibration. You can't even put words on it. So it's not about being like somebody else. It's about by being my soul's blueprint. And the only way we can do that is to start to work through the doubts and fear and say, what role do I play in all of this here? What is my service? What is spirit wanting to serve through me? Because that's what it really is. Your toning and so on is expression of the spirit through your soul's voice and what you do. So it's about knowing ourselves, accepting ourselves. Again, self-compassion.
Yeah, right. And because there's no one else, we have it, it's for me at least, it was like having one experience after the other, seeing, observing how other people react to me, how I react to myself, or when I started
Absolutely.
painting or energy healing, or later then the singing, or once I combine it, and say, yes, that's me, and that's more of me. And what else is there? That's what I'm always curious about. What else is there? And the more I live myself, the more it's just now it feels great. So I'm living myself now, living the joy of my life and living my freedom, and that is.
And I see it in you so much, and I see it, and it's really it really touches me when I see the light shining more in people, especially those I love like you.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, that's a beautiful word. So we can go on for hours, everyone.
I know.
I mean, there's no, and but I think we're almost now an hour, so I'll stop.
I have an appointment at 1:00 too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you
So
very much, and I invite everyone. She just mentioned this beautifully. what is your expression? And come to the Sacred Expressing Show Facebook group and write it and tell us what it is. And so we can have an exchange of wisdom, an exchange of knowledge and inspiration and acknowledging of each other. And this brings then the support for each other, and we can rise and dance together into ourselves and live ourselves fully. So again, Radavie, thank you very much for joining, and I'll post this recording so everyone can watch it later who's interested. And I'm curious for what the next show when we come together is all about.
Yes, yes. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you.
Much
and
love.
thank you, Anuradha, for joining us and staying with us the whole time. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.